Last time I heard you speak was a couple of years ago in Berlin, I think, just before Ghost of the Robot split up, and you kind of hinted on there being a slight chance that there might be a short television movie about Spike and some other characters. There were still plans about that, and you kind of hinted on, well, that's probably going to happen. Is there even still talk about that? Because it's been a few years.
No, there's not talk anymore.
No.
You know, Josh called me up. The reason I said that was he had called me up and said, "Do you want to do, a Spike TV movie?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great. What do you got? What's your ideas?" And he told me he didn't have any ideas. But he had a line from a movie, from Lord of the Rings. And I was like, "Well, okay, what's the line?" And he's like, "It's when Aragorn is going out to battle, and he says, I don't have hope for myself." And I was like, "Okay, that's really serious."
Getting you back to the last episode of Angel.
Wow, yeah. And I said, "Well, how about I have a different idea, Josh?" And I said, "How about if," because I always thought Spike needed to go out and accomplish one thing for himself. I always thought that he was kind of blown by fate a lot. And I wanted him to identify something that he wanted, take action, get it, and then win. But I always knew that if that was a big triumph, it wouldn't seem like Spike anymore. So I had a story where Spike meets a girl, a woman, falls in love, but is not brave enough to tell her who he really is as a vampire. So it's really funny to see him kind of try to cover it up, right? She finally finds out it's dumb and cold. You're evil, you're ugly, you're vicious, get away from me. So he loses the girl. There's an attack on the town, and the monster, it seems to be kind of like his size, so he goes up and we're going to fall heroic, and then as soon as he throws a punch, the monster unfolds, and it's like 20 feet tall. Running away from the monster, going, I need a librarian. And so he gets butt kicked by the monster, and it doesn't do any good on the monster at all. But at the end of the story, he finds a way to get a new pair of shoes without hurting anybody, without lying about it, and without paying for it, and without having to get a job. I think so. I always thought it'd be kind of funny to see Spike trying to fit into the human world. Like, he can't steal it anymore, but he's not going to get a job. So how did he get food, and how did he get the new pair of shoes? And that was another joke, because like for years they only had this one pair of boots and they wouldn't replace them. So like after a while the soles were flopping around so much it was hard to fight. So I thought I'd put that in.
And the second one is about Dragonball Z. The movie hasn't been out for very long, I think since 2009 or something like that. But what was the response on it? Not just from the audience, but also for you personally, because again, silicone on your face, there must have been a lot of hours in makeup. Takes you back to Spike, I guess.
Well, the first time I did the makeup, it took 14 hours. And it was nobody's fault but mine, because I was a fan of the anime. And I wanted to be like the anime. And in the anime, Lord Piccolo is old. He's decrepit and old, and he's mad about that. And there was a lot of talk about not making him so old. And I really thought that was a mistake. So I kept saying to the makeup artist, "Make me older, more lines." And he's like, "You look like a kabuki artist." And I'm like, "I don't care." And then after 14 hours, he literally just threw his brush down and hit me inside the head. Bang! Walked out of the trailer. I'm out! He quit. We got Ed French in, and he did 4 hours. But it was a real running battle about me wanting to be green and old. And those were two things I was willing to get fired for. So I finally I remember telling Ed. Ed was like, "They told you couldn't do the green. They told you not to be so old." And I'm like, "They're not out here, Ed. They're not out here in Durango, Mexico. They're back up in America. If they really care, they can write it." So now they're going to read that on some site. I'm sorry. Right on.
Okay, this is Star Trek.